JT Smith for the TFON Podcast. Here for season 3. I want to say it's episode 18. I'll eat that. Um, but I just wanted to touch base, man, real quick. The Bearcats just had early national signing day yesterday. And if you add the transfers plus the people he was able to keep, I think Scott Satterfield, he was able to sign 15 players, 11 high schoolers, and 4 out of the transfer portal. I think that's very good for somebody that just got the job last week or maybe 2 weeks ago. My timeline is terrible right now. Maybe a week and a half ago. So he's able to get a couple to flip from Louisville, a few Louisville transfers. I think the biggest get was Barry Jackson, a Nebraska flip 4-star receiver, but he was able to keep a lot of previous commits, which isn't bad, man. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's able to keep 8 of the previous regime's commits, which I think was huge. And you can't save them all, and he didn't have a lot of time as well. Some people that once they released soon as Fickle left, you knew they weren't going to stay, and that's what it is. But at the end of the day, I feel like he did a good job of piecing together a solid class. They didn't have the numbers that they probably would have had if Fickle stayed, of course. But at the same time, you get 11 out of high school per numbers. They all rated these high 3-star or better. So I think he did a very good job because his back was against the wall, and I think he came out with a plan. He says he definitely wants to, keep looking at the receiver and tight end position. I'm guessing he may look at corner depending on what's going on. We just found out today that Arquan Bush is not taking his extra year of eligibility. He's going to enter the NFL draft. We also found out that running back Charles McClellan is not taking his extra year eligibility as well. We knew others weren't going to take their extra year eligibility already, but that was huge. And then we also found out that Jawan Briggs is staying for his extra year, as well as Ben Bryant. So that's going to be interesting. The quarterback position is where everybody's going to be looking at stuff, because right now it's a full room. You got Brady Drogosh, highly rated 4-star quarterback. Deontay, what's going on, my guy? What's going on? Good hearing from you. I think he was on the last pod, man. I appreciate you checking in, man. I just wanted to say what up. But I know that with the quarterback position, man, it is you got 5, I want to say right now. You got Evan Prater, Ben Bryant. They just got the new transfer, Emory Jones. A lot of people that follow college football, they know who Emory Jones is. Highly rated 4-star recruit. Played 4 years at Florida, or 3 years at Florida maybe. Just had 1 year at ASU last year, and in his last year, he's going to be a UC. So he's a dual threat guy that I expect to be in the running for the starter, and I would highly be shocked if he wasn't. But that's neither here nor there. Spring ball has to happen, injuries, who knows? But you got him. Then you also have Brady Lichtenberg, and let's see, that's all. Is that all of them? Brady Lichtenberg, Emory Jones, Drogosh, Evan Prater, and Ben Bryant. So you got 5 in that quarterback room. So that's going to be super interesting to see what's going to happen with those guys, because going to the Big 12, and it's probably the most important position to be in right now, especially at quarterback. You either can start super young, or you're going to be very experienced with either Ben or Emory Jones. But I feel like Emory's probably going to be the guy. It just makes sense. I don't think you transfer here if you don't think you're going to have a good chance of being the starter, especially with a new regime. But then who transfers out? Like I think with Brady staying, that was huge for the Bearcats. A lot of teams wanted him, and him. I believe that this staff believes in this young man. So him staying on board holds a lot of weight. So it's just going to be interesting to see who could possibly transfer out, which could happen. Stuff works out. It's how it goes, man. I don't know if it's going to be something that clears itself before spring ball, or for something that the mud is our division's a lot clearer before spring ball even snaps off. But we'll find out, man. We'll keep you guys in the loop on that. But overall, I think the thing I'll tie this into, I know I feel like I'm rambling, even though because I'm by myself today. I didn't bother my man Dan, so my bad, Dan. If you see this and like, man, why you hit me up? But just was going to go real quick. But the Fenway Bowl, the Bearcats got dominated 24-7. Let's just be purely honest, and they were dominated on both sides of the ball, on the lines, and I was shocked. No, I guess the UC's line wasn't as strong, or they didn't play as good as I expected them to play in certain aspects, but it just was something that was kind of a thing. Like if you gloss over it, it's been a all year thing. But Louisville dominated, and it kind of made me excited about the new O-line coach coming, because I'm like, man, this dude, I don't know if it's just the play. I don't know. But I feel like we're seeing how the O-line for Louisville handled themselves against UC. I was excited that Nick is the Bearcats offensive line coach, to see what he does with the people that are still here and then the people that he's bringing in. You got, let's see how many linemen. You got 2 freshman linemen on deck. You got Evan Tungenstahl, who's highly rated O lineman from Wayne High School. Also Josh Gregory. Both of those guys are already built to play in college football. Like it's like Evan's 6'4", 285, and he's legit 285. So you get him in the weight room in the summer or before then, he'll probably be like 300, but solid. I think Josh Gregory is like 280. I mean, those guys are already built like college kids. Then you got 2 kids transferring over, one from Penn, my bad, and Trevor Radosevich, 290, and I'm guessing he's probably gonna have a chance to play. And then Luke Kandra, Elder High School graduate, went to Louisville, transferred over. That guy 6'4", 214. I'm guessing he'll be a part of that rotation, or probably be somebody that plays. Just me guessing, but I'm excited to see like what the Bearcats do with the new staff, or the new staff does with the Bearcats that stay, because the defense was super aggressive. They can't do a lot of that cover zero stuff though, but I like how they were just flying, hats flying, sending people off the edge, real multiple. At 3-4 looked pretty crispy. And I'm not a big fan of a 3-down lineman, but if you're gonna go 3-4 and have people that can and play as aggressive as they were, I like it. I don't think they could just blitz as crazy as they did, with nobody's back. But I guess just maybe the scout report might have helped them out or whatever. So who knows? But yeah, man. I overall, I'm excited about the team itself, the program. Just want to see what happens. Who stays is going to be key, man, because they got a lot of talent that can stay. And then seeing who they bring in, because it's a little bit different. You don't have the cap. You just got to have, you just got 85 scholarships, and that's it. It's no 25 you could bring on each year like it normally is. So it's going to be real interesting to see, who stays, who still transfers. Because just because, the new regime has been here for a week and a half doesn't mean people aren't going to hit the portal. So the question is, who of the people that you feel like are mainstays, who hits and who stays, So that's going to be super, super, super interesting to see how that plays out. Just make sure y'all guys hopefully you guys are subscribing to the YouTube channel too, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help your boy get to 1,000. I'm close to 300, so I'm struggling. I'm about 30% there. Help your boy get to 1K. But rambling a little bit. But shout out to the Bearcats and the pros that made the Pro Bowl. Our guy Sauce Gardner, first year, made the Pro Bowl in his first year. Highest drafted Bearcat ever. Holding it down in New York. It's crazy just to see the growth, or not growth, but just to see the national people see how good this dude is. Like watching him in practice for 3 years, it's crazy, and seeing him live, it's crazy to see him just on the NFL level doing the same damn thing he's been doing for ever since I've ever set eyes on the young man. So that's dope. Shout out to the Kelsey brothers, both making the Pro Bowl as well. Those the guys are staples in the Pro Bowl. Just that's dope to see as well. But shout out to our boy Sauce though. But and then also, man, I was like watching Sunday Night Football last week, and saw the Sunday Night Football. Or was it Monday night? But Derek Forrest was out there balling for the Commodores. Or that Commodores? Commanders, my bad. I said Commodores. I'm tripping. The Commanders. So that was dope to see. And he's been killing it all year, but that's the first game I was actually able to sit down and watch him, and my dude was just making plays. So that was dope. And that's my guy too. So love seeing that. His dad, one of the coolest dudes I ever met. So Mr. Forrest, shout out to you too, my guy. But yeah, so yeah, the Bearcats doing it a little bit in the NFL. Hopefully, you guys have been checking out the Bearcat Tip Off podcast. Try to me, Alex Meacham, and Neil Meyer. We do a pod before every game, so you can go on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to your pods. Search TFON, you'll be able to find it, or you can search the Bearcat basketball podcast for Alex, and you can find it. It's the same episode, just depending on where you want to watch it at or listen to it at. Hope you guys check that out. So that's why I don't talk as much basketball on my TFON podcast, because normally I'm taking about 25, 30 minutes talking about hoops. But the Bearcats are now 9-4 overall. Finished out the non-conference strong. Wish they could have got that Xavier win, but it is what it is. But I like how they answered. Normally they have like a fallout after they lose to Xavier, and I feel like Wes has hit the ground running, got rotations together, and really helping his team get into the next level, man. So I want to see what happens. They will play Tulane next Wednesday or next Thursday, and hopefully they can start off the conference and get a dub. But I'll get back onto football, man. I like who they kept, man. Brady Drogosh, man. He, from what I've seen, the dude looks the real deal. He's a dual threat quarterback, 6'4", 200 pounds. Looks like he can make every throw you want him to make. He got some wiggle to him. It seems like he's a pretty damn good player. And then Evan Tungenstall, been starting. I want to say the young man's been playing varsity since a freshman, if I'm not mistaken. But I believe he's been starting since a sophomore. And he's a monster, quick feet. It's already built how you want offensive linemen to be built. And then I want to talk to two people, the two Louisville commutes that switched over, Raekwon Atkins, cornerback, and then Jaden Davis. Both of them look like very, very good players. So I think that's huge for Satterfield to be able to use his connections to be able to get those young men to come up I-71. I mean, Louisville and Cincinnati are both cold places, so especially in the winter. So I mean, that's probably the easy. If they're gonna go to Louisville, they can come here too. Think gonna be Caleros 2.0, 513 Bearcat. That'd be dope. He's bigger than Caleros, but I respect it though. If he is, I ain't mad at that. He could be Caleros 2.0 because Caleros didn't have that wiggle. He can take that mug to the house on you on the low. So I'm down with that. I think his arm is stronger than Zach's though, like already. Even though I love Zach, Zach was a monster. He's killing it in the CFL as we speak. I think he's been like the MVP like 2 or 3 times or something. Like, dude's a CFL legend. So if he's Zach Caleros 2.0, then we're in a good spot for real. Because dude's was a playmaker, and I'm down with that. But I think, man, I know I'm going back to the quarterback position because it's super, super important. I'm excited to see who stays and who goes, and I want to see how that competition goes. But if I'm betting, I think Emory is the guy when they play their first game late September, or early September, and then I feel like I think Brady is in the wings if Emory struggles a little bit, So, but we'll see, man. This is all me assuming right now. This is nothing. No factual stuff on this. It's just me being around the program, just offering my thoughts. So they must have did a heck of a job because Emory was at the Bryant. Was it the Bryant game, maybe, or the LaSalle? He was here last Saturday, and he said he wanted to be a Bearcat, so that's pretty dope. The Dorian Jones move, guy is, I think he's about to be. Is he a sophomore? I want to say. He played at Louisville, had like 30-something tackles. I think that's a real good transfer get because dude is legit. Like everybody that's I've asked about how he plays, had nothing but glowing things to say about him. So that's pretty dope just to see. So let's see. Oh, John, what you got? We'll go show. But Ben coming back, what's your Pareto prediction? Man, I don't know, man. Because I feel like with Ben coming back, Ben's injury, he has to. I don't know when he's going to be ready to play. So him coming back, I don't think he goes. I don't think he hits the portal just because yes, he's nursing a foot injury that was pretty serious, and he just may want to finish his time as a in college as a Bearcat. With Prater, I mean you'll be a redshirt junior next year. You got Emory Jones here. You got Brady Drogosh. Littenberg is still here. Lightenberg is still here. As of now, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. That the Emory Jones coming makes it interesting. Makes it real interesting for Prater. So it depends on if he wants to bite down and battle or if he's like, So that I don't know. So we'll I know a lot of people love him, like far as his teammates and stuff like that. But I don't know, with a new coach and new staff on board. I don't know, man. That's a coin flip, and we may get an answer sooner than later, or it might be something that doesn't work itself out until later. But I don't know, man. It's gonna be real interesting because it's a lot of 21 football, 5 quarterbacks that are scholarship quarterbacks as we speak are in the building. So who knows, man? Who knows? We'll find out. So, but John, I'll keep you up to date if I hear anything that's worth passing along. I will. I know you check out the show all the time and check out the site all the time. I will keep people up to date, man. So you know that. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. But I want to see how this defense and offense. I want to see how this offensive line looks. I know I talked about that a little bit earlier. That's the key to me. Offensive line, if they can look a lot better, look like that Louisville offensive line, I'll do backflips and I can't even flip. Need some wide receivers. Yeah, we lost a lot, man. We lost a lot. The portal ate us up. You got Jaden Thompson, who's now a Louisville Cardinal. Will Paulin will land on his feet somewhere. Trey Tucker's going to NFL. He's not going to use a super senior season. Tyler Scott entered the draft early, which I kind of figured that he had a hell of a year, solid year the year before. Why come back with that speed? So that's a lot, man. And I feel like I'm missing somebody else, but we still got some people if they stay. Like Quincy Burrows, man. He number 12. Like he probably saw some snaps in that Fenway Bowl. Of course, he didn't get to show what he could do, but that dude, man, he's a monster. I watched him at practice a few times, and I think just off of the sure amount of people, and Nick Martin is also in the transfer portal, of course. But like just the numbers kind of kept him from playing. And I feel like if he stays, he'll be a guy that's in the rotation next year, no matter what. He's like 6'3", runs routes like a freaking veteran. Chris Scott is a very underrated dude. I've seen him in practice. He's a baller. I think if he stays, that'd be huge. So we'll see, man. They need more numbers, of course, because it's definitely light. But I think they can get a couple more people in the portal, or maybe even in the maybe it's a freshman or something that they can get, at the normal signing day. You know how they have 20,000 signing days now, but on the one in February, so early February, maybe something could shake for sure. So I'm gonna go down to 513 Bearcat. It should be pretty stable, man. Nobody's in the portal that I know of as of now. I mean, only person they've lost is McClellan for sure. Ryan Montgomery could possibly. I mean, he's a senior, but he could possibly take advantage of his extra year of eligibility, which is something that we're looking into. I'm pretty sure he'll announce it pretty sooner or later. So he could possibly take advantage of that extra year, or you can hit the portal, or you can say, I'm going to the NFL draft. So he has 3 options. Miles Montgomery, he's only a redshirt freshman. If he stays, Stephen Burr's a pretty good running back. He was a true freshman. Corey Kiner, everybody knows Corey Kiner. I feel like he will be in line to be the guy, I would think, just with the current stable of backs, unless Monty stays. I feel like Miles Montgomery showed a lot of flashes, especially in practice. I feel he had a couple good runs in during the season. He fumbled once and kind of hurt him. early in the season. He was in a rotation, but overall, I think the running backs are pretty stable. I mean, it's been as long as the staff wants to keep everybody and the kids want to stay with the staff. I think they'll be fine. I'm not really worried about the running back position at all, right? As of right now. Now, if people start hitting the portal, then that'll be cause to worry. But right now, that's probably one of the strongest positions that the Bearcats have right now, even without anybody coming in as a running back. They got some people that can play. And then if Montgomery stays, then that's they're playing with super house money right there. So I think they'll be fine. John, yeah, the Mateer guy, Shimon Mateer is very, very good. And like seeing him in practice and seeing him move, like people had probably seen him and he only had like 2 catches during the season. So people don't understand how good Shimon Mateer is. Like he is honestly, he could be like everybody loved Josh Wally. I already said Josh Wally was a pro. I think Shimon Mateer has more talent than Wiley and Taylor. And I feel both of those are pros. Both guys are pros, NFL guys. They'll be playing, getting checks from the NFL for a few years for sure, no matter what. Even in a bad situation, I think they both will get checks. And I think Mateer is better than both. So just from what I've seen, if he wouldn't have got hurt early in the season, he would have been playing. He was in the rotation even then. I don't know how many looks he would have got. Who knows? I don't think the tight ends got targets, but it wasn't like they weren't getting used as much as I thought. But at the end of the day, their numbers were still steady. But yeah, he's a beast, dude. I hope he stays. He's one of the guys that he's just had surgery, but dude's a monster. He will be a guy that Bearcats fans will like, especially with how Satterfield likes to use the tight end. I think he'll be a perfect. I think he'll blow up next year. He'll be one of the guys that blows up for sure. Let's go, man. 513 Bearcat. We go back in here with our running backs not performing as much this season. I was surprised. Oh shoot, I forgot. Ethan Wright, dude. He played in the Fenway Bowl. He was playing safety. I forgot about Ethan Wright. I'm tripping. So you got Ethan Wright, possibly, Kiner, Miles Montgomery. Who knows? We'll see what Ryan Montgomery does. You got Steven Bird. So you got a lot of good dudes. I just think the line, I don't know. I think the line was a lot better the year before, and it was pretty much the same dude. So it was weird. But this year they weren't as good. So it could have been like the scheme. I don't know if it was the offensive scheme or if it was the new offensive lineman coach last year, if it threw those guys off. But I feel like they weren't as good. And I mean, I watched a lot of Bearcat football, and the year before, they were pushing people off the ball. This year, they weren't pushing people off the ball that much, and it was kind of like baffling. I thought like maybe it's just like a 1 or 2 week thing, but I think it might have just been the offensive line coach style for the most part, because whatever technique they were doing, it was totally different as far as the results. And the year before, they were probably one of the better lines, stable lines. The only time I really feel like they had a problem was against Alabama, and it wasn't ridiculous. Like they were like what you call it, was getting killed. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, I think the style messed the Bearcats up more than the running backs. They had talent, so I wouldn't worry about that, man. I wouldn't worry about that. The line, I mean, the running backs are good, and they can keep the majority of those guys. The 3, you always need you a good 3, and if they can keep 3 of those guys in the fold, I feel like as long as they fit with the scheme and everything, I think they'll be fine. I know Satterfield was trying to recruit Kiner heavy when he was at Louisville, so that's a plus. And I feel like Kiner's gonna blow up. I just feel like he's too talented, man. Seen this guy run since he was 15 years old. Everybody knows how good he is around here. Barring anything crazy, I just don't see how he doesn't blow up sooner than later. So I'm not worried about the running back position. The offensive line right now will be the position that concerns me the most. Seeing how the defensive line with Javon staying, and then right now currently knowing that Corleone is staying. I feel like the defense line will be fine, but seeing what linebackers stay or go will be interesting as well. So that's one of the keys to me. But as of now, I feel like the offensive line is the position I'm looking at the most in quarterback. And, quarterback's the keys to the car. And I know wide receiver is a little interesting right now, but they brung in two freshmen, and you got a few if they stay that can be legit, and then it might be another guy that comes in. So I would not be shocked if they don't try to get a one or two in the portal, just because it just makes sense that strength in numbers, man. Injuries happen, and you want to have a strong thing. You want to have a strong unit. And that O line is going to be key, man, because if they can't get pushed around like they got pushed around this year, I just think watching Louisville play, even though they weren't there, most of the bases were passed by the coaches that are now Bearcat coaches. It makes me excited to see what they do. So, because it can't get no worse than this year, like far as how they couldn't really run the ball. And I think that was more so just getting pushed off. And a lot of those guys were movers. So it was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it was I don't know if it was the offensive scheme. And I think I'm attributing it to the offensive line coach personally. And that's just me. I think you get a new teaching and it's a little bit different. And it didn't work out. You know what I mean? But seeing Louisville do what they did, how they could push off, I'm like, I think it bodes well for the Bearcats in the future. And in the Big 12, they're going to have a stable line because it's not the AAC. No disrespect to the AAC. But, shit, you saw how Louisville looked, a lot more speed coming off the end, a lot more people trying to get to you. And that's how it's going to be in the Big 12. It's going to be about big plays, and you got to score points. So, it's going to be interesting. And that O-line going to have to improve. And I feel like yesterday they did a good job of bringing in some people that can help it improve sooner than later. So we shall see, man. We shall see. I would not be shocked if, they don't get like another tackle that's out there and go from there, man. But the key is just seeing who stays. You know what I'm saying? Pace. Yes, that's a good question, man. Does Pace stay, John? That is a huge question. We gotta see, man. I know he accepted the Shrine Bowl, but I mean, if you can accept it and then decline it respectfully, so we'll see, man. If Pace stays, that'd be huge. And with how aggressive this defense is, I feel like Pace will have another good year if he does stay, take advantage of that super senior year. I mean, he was a top 3 in the best linebacker award this year. And I feel like shit, no matter what defense he's in, if they got him being aggressive, he's going to be a top 3 guy again. And in the Big 12, it's going to hold even more weight than the AAC. But I feel like he would probably be a 3rd, 4th round pick if he left now. So it just depends on, his situation and what makes the most sense for him. Like if he feels like he can, get his value up, then it's possible he stays. I'm pretty sure nobody's going to turn him away. Just how he's too damn good. But we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. Because if Ivan Pace stays, that's huge. Because I didn't expect Jawan Briggs to stay. Even though he probably didn't have the year he wanted to have. He's a monster. Superhuman strength. Guy can move. But shoot, with him staying, that was a huge bonus for Satterfield and the crew. And if Ivan Pace stays, they're doubling up on 2 levels. And then I feel like they have enough stability in the corner and safety position. If they can get those guys to stay, they'll be all right. So that's it for my ramble tonight, man. I'm just wanted to touch base, give you guys, talk about the National Signing Day. I thought he did very, very well. 15 overall. It could have went way worse. He comes in early signing days on the 21st. I feel like he was hired on the 11th or something like that. So it was crazy. On the local prospects, are we losing momentum? I wouldn't say that. I feel like Bearcat 513. I wouldn't say we're losing momentum. I just feel like keeping Carey. Then I believe they're keeping a couple of other guys from the old staff that they haven't announced. Then we'll see who those guys are. But I feel like they're going to keep a couple people. I feel like by the beginning of the year, Satterfield will say who his full staff is. I don't think we'll lose some momentum because I feel like Fickle and the crew had such a good base about this area. But I feel like Satterfield understands that even though he has other connections, he has to make sure he's smart in this area as well because he's seen the success. So I believe we'll be okay. It's just I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be fine. Going to the Big 12 and him knowing to be smart about these young men around his area, I think they'll be all right. But that's it, man. I appreciate the questions tonight, especially being solo. So I'm just gonna end it on that note, man. I liked what he got, and I liked the direction because it could have been way worse, man. Even though the numbers aren't crazy high overall, the Bearcats probably would have had 20 in this class. Now they got 15 counting transfers, so you lose 5. You lost, more than that overall, but in general, he saved, I want to say 8 kids that could have dipped, and it was like it wasn't because the kids didn't have options. I personally talk to parents, stuff like that. And these kids could have went to some other P5 schools, and they were drooling over the kids being open. It was like a shark in water. So I commend Satterfield and his staff hitting the ground running and having a plan, and they're kind of executing it. I like what they're doing, getting more scouts, and not scouts but recruiters and stuff like that. So I like the overall direction, and we'll see, man. We'll keep talking about this. This will be a moving target. If other people hit the portal, we'll talk about that as well. But as of now, I like where the people they have on the team, and then we just got to mold it out, see what happens, man. So I'm just going to end it on that, man. And then just make sure you guys check it out. Make sure you got people subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out the website, the Front Office News. Hit up the IG page. Always keep you up to date on there. And if y'all guys know any sponsors, man, if anybody wants to sponsor the podcast or the website, reach out to hit me up, man. Front Office News @gmail.com. Feel free to shoot an email there, see if we can make some stuff work. Site's been growing throughout the process, man. I appreciate everybody that's checking it out. And that's it, man. I'm JT Smith, man. I'm signing out. Make sure y'all hit it up. Share it. I'll post this podcast tomorrow. Being lazy, I'm about to go have some family time and chill, man. Might go play some Madden or something. But if y'all got questions, hit me up. I'll try to get on next week as well. Just talk a little bit football, update, stuff like that. And then, we've been rocking out, man. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the podcast and enjoying the sites and, stuff what we've been doing to keep you guys up to date and, Bearcat land. So, all right. Y'all have a good one.